guys, so welcome back. Here we are for the real drive video in the 2015 Nissan Versa Note, and this is the SR. Now, we've talked about what the SR means in our real video and, well, in our first impressions, so we'll let you check those out for more details on the SR package itself. From a driving perspective, it really doesn't change this Nissan Versa Note all that much. The cool thing about the Nissan Versa Note is that it is a nice size. It is a good in-town car while still providing the driving characteristics of the Nissan brand. It feels sporty, it feels in tune with the road. You have a nice weighted steering experience in this vehicle. A little bit numb in the center, but not too bad. In fact, at high speed, it doesn't seem as twitchy as some of the other models, but it is a little bit less, I don't know, it feels like it's got a little bit of motion there in the center, and that's not unusual for these different cars, especially with the boosted steering. I like that for the size of vehicle, the steering to me feels well balanced because you feel like you can throw it through corners and have some fun with the vehicle out on the road. Of course, we have the CVT transmission in this vehicle, and what Nissan says about this is that it has a wider range for the size of vehicle than a standard 7-speed automatic. The CVT making it better to drive in town and in different environments with the CVT than a 7-speed shifting transmission would actually have for you. Now, you don't have the Shiftronic or anything like that in this vehicle, so you're pretty much stuck with it doing what it wants to do. You do have an L mode, which will allow you to downshift, and it'll control how it does that. All in all, not a bad experience for a vehicle that comes in right about 19,180 and some change in there as tested for this SR package. So this is meant to be a, well, economy car, but it's also meant to have some good features. So when you're driving, what you notice is that you have good power, 109 horsepower and 107 foot-pounds of torque coming out of a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder motor. Now, this vehicle gets some amazing gas mileage. In fact, 35 combined, 31 in the city and 40 out on the freeway. Not necessarily the best in class, but it's definitely right in there for competition's sake. And it is a vehicle that, from a suspension perspective, as you can see, we're hitting some rutted roads here, some bumps in the road, some breaks in the concrete. It doesn't jar you. You don't feel it transferring through the seat all that much. It doesn't rattle your teeth, and it doesn't actually even transfer up through the wheel as much as you might expect. So it is pleasant to drive, and see, we just hit a good chunk there, and you get a little bit of shake in the interior, but it's not the way it would have been, you know, even 5 years ago in some of these cars. I actually think this Versa Note is well balanced in the comfort versus stiffness category of the suspension, because it handles well, it drives well, it soaks up the bumps, but it doesn't feel oversprung or sloppy out on the road. So it's a vehicle that I would recommend you check out. The biggest detractor is the engine noise. As you can see as I accelerate there, the engine noise is definitely noticeable in this vehicle. So as we pull into Real Auto Ranch here, I guess to wrap up this quick real drive video, I think it's a vehicle that if you're in the market for one of these economy, small in-town cars, it's definitely one you're gonna wanna check out. And I would recommend you compare it to things like the Toyota Yaris. The Ford Fiesta would also be a good one. Chevrolet has several in their stable, including the Sonic that is actually even smaller than this, so that's probably not the one you want to compare to, but the Spark would also be good. This vehicle, though, from Nissan has that Nissan characteristic, and if you're not really ready to go to a Leaf yet, this is a cool car to look at with great rear interior room, good cargo room, and a lot of flexibility. So, for Real Auto Reports, I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you, hopefully, down the road.